Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Michelle Salerno, and I head the marketing team here at Celerant. And I'm joined by Tom Tupin from Gun StoreMaster and Scott Cooper, also from Celerant. And so with that, we will kick it off. So before I jump into this, there's a lot happening right now with QuickBooks. And I think probably most of you on this call are using QuickBooks Point of Sale. And of course, it's been announced that there's end of life coming this October. So we are another point of sale that has an integration with Gun StoreMaster, and we specifically are built for the firearms industry. So for those of you who don't know who we are, we have been a preferred software provider for the NSSF and the NRA for probably about 18 or so years. And more recently also the NASGW and also the ACA. We have 7 offices. Our main office is based in New York. That's the office that I usually work out of. And we have another office in Atlanta, Texas, California, also internationally in the Caribbean and also South Asia. We have 180 employees nationwide, and we are literally all throughout the entire country. We have 1,800 retailers using our software. We don't just serve the hunt, camp, fish space, but we have a really big footprint in the hunt, camp, fish space specifically. So we offer 2 platforms, 2 software solutions. You know what, Tom, can you just go on mute if you're not, because I'm hearing some feedback. Thank you, that should help. So we offer 2 platforms to the industry, and both of those software solutions integrate, of course, with Gun StoreMaster. So for 23 or so years, we have traditionally offered a more advanced retail solution for the upper end of the SMB market. About 6 or so years ago, we developed a browser-based, more mobile-friendly version of that software, and we called it Stratus Enterprise. We did notice at that time we had a lot of retailers who wanted that more advanced software, but they were smaller merchants. And so what we did at that time was we created a new system, a lighter software solution at a more cost-effective price point, and we called that Cumulus Retail. So now we have 2 software solutions that we offer the firearms industry. We have Cumulus Retail, which is a SaaS model, software as a service, and it's meant to be a more cost-effective, lighter solution where you can start small. You can get your feet wet. You can get started for as low as $125 a month. And then you can add on as you grow. You can add on different features from our Stratus platform, and we can support your business as your retail business expands. And then we also offer Stratus Enterprise, which is our more advanced solution meant for the larger end of the SMB space. So the larger dealers like Turner's and Vance and Jay's Sporting Goods, they're using Stratus. Stratus is where we can do custom modifications. So if you're looking to modify the software in any way, or if you're looking for a custom e-commerce presence, Stratus would be more of a fit for you. Both of these software solutions, though, integrate with Gun StoreMaster, and that is what we're going to talk about and show you all here today. So before we get to that, though, just a little bit more information about our complete system. So for those of you who are on QuickBooks, you're using QuickBooks Point of Sale, it's not built for guns. So yes, of course, it's point of sale, it's inventory management, it's all of those things that you need it to do, payment processing, and we offer all of that as well. But with our software solution, we offer all of that, plus a lot more that's built specifically for firearms. So we have our own internal A&D, but then of course we have our third-party integrations that we have with Gun StoreMaster. So you all are using the Gun StoreMaster A&D and E4473, and we have that seamless integration to that bound book. The software has full inventory management. We also offer range management. So if you happen to also have a range, you can do range lanes, course scheduling, memberships, all of that within our software. We also offer e-commerce. So not only can you manage your entire brick and mortar side of the business with us, but you can also manage your e-com. So we can launch your website. And even after your website goes live, we can help you with things like digital marketing, SEO services, email marketing. And we offer marketplace integrations as well. So we offer the integrations that you see there, Weapon Depot, GunBroker, gun.deals. Newer one is gunstores.com. And then some non-firearm platforms as well, such as Amazon, Walmart, and eBay. So a lot of you are using QuickBooks integrated with your A&Z. Maybe you're using something totally different for e-commerce, or maybe you're not even using QuickBooks. Maybe you're manual. And so we really come in, and where dealers come to us is when they want that one single software provider to help them manage everything. So Scott is going to take us through the software and show us a little bit of a product demo in just a few moments. But before we get to that, I want to just first go over some of the differentiators that we offer with our software in comparison to some of the other software providers in the market. So the first is one system. So we talked a lot about that already, how we are one system to help manage your entire business with that integration, of course, to Gun StoreMaster. The e-commerce part, so that's a really big differentiator. We can help you get past your storefront, help you get into the online sales, launch a website for you. And then on those websites, we offer what's called an FFL Locator. So you can even sell firearms on your website. And then your customer can choose a local FFL, and that's where you'll then ship the firearm to complete the sale for that firearm. So there's a lot we can do online. BOPUS, buy online, pick up in store. These days, selling online is more important than ever before. And so being able to have that e-commerce site, have things like buy online, pick up in store same day becomes super important. The next is marketplaces. So we talked about some of the marketplaces, and you don't need our software to sell on a marketplace, right? You can sell on these marketplaces already, but how using a centralized software streamlines the process is from our software, you can post products to the marketplace, you can pull back orders from the marketplace. Those orders will pull back just as if they're coming from your own website. You won't have to manually enter them into your retail software. And most importantly, your inventory is in sync. So as soon as a sale is made in your store or on your website, the inventory on the marketplace will be reflected as well. So it's all connected. And then fourth is digital marketing. Now this is an important part because this is one thing that really sets us apart from a lot of our competitors out there. So we're not just helping you streamline your store operations. We're also not just helping you launch your website. We have a full digital marketing team who can also help you promote your business and increase sales to both your store and your e-commerce. So we offer things like SEO services, which is search engine optimization, helping your website rank better on Google, helping you get closer to page one organically so that when your customers are going to Google and typing, whether they're typing for things near me or they're just searching the web to buy products, your business will be on page one, hopefully towards the top, and get more customers through SEO. We also offer an email marketing platform. And so a lot of you may be using Constant Contact or MailChimp and probably sending out mass emails to your entire customer base, which is good. At least you're doing email marketing. But how ours differs is we offer an email marketing platform that's, again, integrated with your store and your e-com. So it's all integrated and you're pulling customer and sales data. So when you're doing that, you can send real personalized emails based on past purchases and your customers' preferences. You can send triggered emails based on a specific item that they purchased. And when you're sending personalized emails, those types of emails perform usually 6 times better than a regular mass blind email. So a lot we can do on the digital marketing front. Oops, I clicked too fast there. The fifth one is the upgrade path. So I talked a lot about Cumulus, talked about Stratus, but the big benefit there is you as an independently owned smaller retailer, you can start small on Cumulus. You can get your feet wet. You can manage your business, add on as you grow, and then if and when you expand and you're ready for a more enterprise solution, you have an easy upgrade path to Stratus. You don't have to learn a whole new system. You don't have to retrain on the software. You don't have to do a data conversion, which can be so painful. We just turn on a couple more bells and whistles. You pay a little more in your monthly, and you can be using our enterprise solution. All right, so we are going to get to the product demo in just a minute, but before we do, I want to quickly walk you through what we call our phase chart. So this is just to give an example of what we consider important for your business, how we can help you grow your business one step at a time. So phase one is the point of sale and the e-commerce. So that's probably what you all are here for today. QuickBooks is end of life. So you need to replace your point of sale. And maybe while you're doing that, you want to consider a new e-commerce platform. Maybe you don't have e-commerce yet. Maybe you want to launch a website. So most of our retailers come to us with this in mind. Phase one, point of sale, e-commerce, and vendor integration. And that's what we can help our retailers with, and we do every day. But then what we want to also show them is that phase two, again, not all at once, but when you're ready, after you go live with our point of sale in your store, after you launch your new e-commerce site, phase two is all about bringing it to that next level and expanding your marketing, SEO services, those more personalized emails, maybe add on those integrations to third-party marketplaces. Then from there, phase three, maybe we even take that further, bring your business to even a higher level. We offer mobile shopping apps. We offer range apps. You can do really cool things if you're a range, and you can let your shooters upload their targets. You can do virtual trophies. You can have a social wall. You can do all kinds of really cool stuff through these apps, through the mobile shopping apps and the range apps. And then once you have an app that your customers can download, you're literally in their pocket. You're on their phones, in their pocket. And so just think about the marketing you can do when they download your app. You can send push notifications, you can do text messages, and you can complement your email marketing by sending much more specific messaging and marketing right to their phone, bypassing those spam filters altogether. So there's a lot that we can do, and the important aspect is that we can help you do it all. We have all of this technology, and we have a team that's here to really help you with today's problem, which is QuickBooks point of sale is end of life. I need to replace my software in my store, but then really get you thinking about all of this other stuff that in time, when you're ready, we can help you achieve. And so one last thing I want to point out before we flip it over to Scott for the product demo is this is something that we offer in our software that I can tell you, I know you didn't have it with QuickBooks because of course QuickBooks is not built for firearms. So at Celerant, we are built for firearms. We have integrations to, it says 20 plus, I think it's more like 28 hunt, camp, fish distributors. We just announced this week a new one with TGD. So we are partnered with all of the distributors, and we have full integrations within our software, which can really help you streamline your process both in-store and online. So I'll talk through that for just a minute. The way I look at the integration is usually two parts. There's the in-store piece and the online piece. For in-store, we offer what we call our catalog import. So you log into our software, you're in the back office Celerant software, and you can click on catalog import. You'll see a drop-down of all the distributors that we work with. Now, you'll only be able to access the distributors that you are an approved dealer of, but once we set it up for you, you'll be able to select your distributor's catalog, whether it's Lipsy's or Sports South, Xander's, RSR. Like I said, there's 28 or so that we have, and you can import their product catalog right within your Celerant software. So you don't have to manually enter all those products. You don't have to build your database manually by entering all the data. You can just pull in your distributor's catalog right from within the software. Then we also offer automated ordering. So you can create your POs within our software. You can electronically send those POs right to the distributor from our software. But you can also take that a step further, and you can automate your ordering. And so our implementation team will train you and teach you and help you prep your inventory. So you can set what's called min-max levels for your inventory. And then our software will automatically generate a purchase order when it knows you've reached the minimum level. And then obviously it's going to get you to that maximum level and keep your inventory just where you need it, just in time. You can prioritize your vendors. If one vendor can't fill it, it'll go to vendor number 2, and it's going to keep going, saving you the hassle of having to make all those phone calls, send out all those orders. The system can do it for you. And we are already integrated with probably all of the distributors that you order from. The online piece for this, I keep talking about our e-commerce. So on both of our e-commerce platforms, Cumulus e-commerce and Stratus e-commerce, we offer online product feeds. So we are integrated with all the distributors and we're pulling their product feed. So product images, product descriptions, map pricing, all of that data we pull from the distributor. We also pull their available inventory. So you can offer what we call an endless aisle of their products on your website, and you can have them drop ship. So you can literally sell on your Celerant website any product that distributor has in stock in their warehouse. You can sell it on your website by pulling it from them. And then our system is smart enough to know, okay, that's an order that you as a dealer don't stock. So that order is going to go to the distributor to drop ship direct to your customer on your behalf versus orders that you stock. And of course, if you stock it, you want to fulfill it from your stock. So being able to offer that endless aisle of products, offering wider product lines, more products to your customers through your e-commerce by pulling their feed and having them drop ship. And then the last piece is kind of pulling all of this together and using those same online product feeds to power what we call our in-store kiosk. So let's say you have a customer that comes in your store, wants to purchase something that you don't stock or you don't have in stock. Instead of telling them, oh, go on my website, you can buy it there. Who knows if they're going to walk out the door, go to your competitor, get distracted, not make the sale. What if when they're in your store, you can pull up your kiosk, pull your distributor's catalog up, show them the product they want to buy, complete that sale right there at the kiosk. The order goes to your distributor. Either they drop ship to your customer or they send it to you, and then you have the customer come back to pick it up. So being able to sell more products in your store and, of course, your e-com. So there's a lot that we offer. This is just one of many examples, but there's a lot that we offer that's specific to the firearms industry that you'll have access to when you're using our software versus using a point of sale that's just simply not built for the firearms industry. So with that, we are going to take a quick product demo, and we're not going to go into a full demo because that would take an hour in itself. But Scott, Cooper, and we have a full sales team. We can totally schedule a one-on-one demo if you're interested in learning more and having that personalized demo. So I'm going to, Scott, make you the presenter. Give me 1 second. Okay. Scott, you should be able to take control.
All right, I think I got it.
Yep, we see your screen. I'm going to go on mute so I don't hear the feedback.
Let me get the screen smaller here. All right, so you can see my screen, the full screen of just Cumulus, Michelle? You're on mute.
Yes, we see it.
Okay, all right. So as Michelle said, this is Cumulus. I'm going to show you Cumulus, and we can just, Stratus goes into a lot more detail, but we're going to try and keep it simple today. So Cumulus is a browser-based solution, meaning you can access the database pretty much from anywhere in the world on any device that has a browser. So it gives you a lot of flexibility, accessibility when you, if you do trade shows, things like that, gun shows, you're able to take your point of sale with you if you need to. If you were to decide to go with Cumulus, you would be assigned an implementation manager both for your brick and mortar store and also for your e-commerce. And the point I'm trying to make there is you have a person that you constantly go to and work with, and the continuity of training is really, really good. That being said, I just want to talk about one little thing here in the setup feature. So if we go into products, and this is important to know when you're setting up the system, but your implementation manager is obviously going to assist you with this, is you want to set up profit centers within your business. So these profit centers we call departments. Your department list is going to be totally different than mine. but we can break departments down to smaller profit centers, which we call types, and then you go to a third tier, which we call subtypes. In Stratus, our more detailed software, there are 5 levels here. So let's take a look at a product record. We'll go into product over here, and we can search by any one or any combination of these fields. I'm going to search for Glock, and I'm going to search for just Glocks that are in my firearms, pistol, and semi-automatic. So we'll hit pick and do our search. And we're going to take a look at, let's see, one of these items here. BG 175, we'll do this one here. All right, so this is the product record. There's a couple ways of getting products into your system. One is to manually key in all this data. Second way is through a product import. Basically, it's a mapping program. So if your vendor can send you a CSV file, you can import those products appropriately and map the data into the appropriate fields. And the final way, which we're going to jump to very quickly, is going into catalog import. And that's where you can deal with the different distributors that you have and just import directly from their catalog, pictures, things like that. So let's take a look at the product record. We have classifications. Here's our department, type, and subtype. Let's scroll down here. There's a lot of other fields that we utilize, like last received, last sold. OF fields, these are open fields that you can use for whatever purpose you want. It could be to track the age of a product, could be to track the location of a product, like this is in my stockroom aisle 1, shelf 3. But the e-commerce tab is the important one here for those guys that are interested. We have a button here that says use vendor e-commerce data. Now, Michelle already talked about this, but essentially what this does is this allows you to put products on your website, and it can look at the available on hand of the vendors. So what happens is if a customer places an order on your website, it will first look to your inventory. If you have it in stock, it will indicate to you to pick, pack, and ship. If you don't have it, it will then go to your preferred vendor first, looking to see if they have the available on hand. And if they do, it can automatically send a PO to that vendor, indicating the drop ship to the customer, to the local FFL of their choosing. The big work, though, when you have an e-commerce site is right here on this screen. Well, let's prepare it to sell on web. There's a lot of different data. Now, the description up here in the top right-hand corner, that is the description that I'm using for in-store, for labels and for receipts, etc. But for your website, you want to embellish that, get a little bit more web-friendly or SEO, where we can have up to 250 characters for the main product name, up to 10,000 for the long copy, extended copy. And we have different websites that we can show you on how this all pans out once it gets posted to the web. But essentially, once you're done saving all this information, embedding videos, we hit save. And the last step would be to sell on web. And it's going to get organized on your website based on those departments, types, and subtypes I talked about initially, and also the OF fields. And then there's also a lot of fields that are gun specific or firearm specific. And this is in this section here where we have restricted firearm, model, manufacturer, importer, gun type, and caliber. So once the products are in the system, or actually, let me jump to the catalog import next. So this is really neat the way this works in that we go into catalog item import. First, you have to select the vendor or distributor that you're going to be importing from. And here is our list, our current list. As Michelle said, there's 20 some different distributors on here. Not all are firearms, but the majority of them are. Chattanooga, etc. So I'm just going to look at Sports South as an example. So you get a couple different ways of importing products from your vendors. You can look at their classifications, in other words, their departments as they've categorized their products. So if I just want to do optics today, I can select optics and we bring up a list of just the optics from Sports South. I could also do it based on specific item numbers. So if you're at point of sale and customers looking for a product you don't have, maybe you don't carry it or you're just out of stock, or if you don't carry it, you can actually import right from point of sale the manufacturer's item number and the product and then sell it right away. And the other field you can import is by the vendor brand. So these are all the different brands that Sports South carries. And I'm going to scroll down to, let's say, Glock. And we're going to do next. And this takes a couple seconds, especially when I'm tied to a GoToMeeting because it eats up some bandwidth. But it's going to look at the Sports South catalog and it's going to find all the products that fit the brand name Glock. So from that list, I'll be able to see those products that I've already imported, and I'll be able to also select new products from that list to import from. And just give this another second or two. This should populate shortly. There we go. All right, so it's color coded. If it's yellow, it's already in my stock. If it's white, it means it's a new product. And if it's yellow, excuse me, if it's green, it means something changed since the last time I touched it, like maybe a new cost or new retail. And if it's pink, it means a new brand is going to be introduced into my system. So from here, you can select the items that you want, and then you can also do what we call bulk change selected. I did select an item there. And this just allows you to assign all the system attributes to these products prior to importing them. So you don't have to go back and touch the record again. So it really expedites this whole data entry process and getting products ready to be in your store to either create a PO for or to sell. So we're not going to get into purchasing today, but Michelle did mention, actually, I just wanted to point one thing out because she did say this. We can create what we call replenishment orders, and it can be done based on what she was describing as min-max, where you have thresholds set up. When I fall below 3 units of this Glock 9mm, I want to order up to 6 units. It's your best guess when you first start out what those 2 levels need to be to sustain your sales between your reorder cycles. But over time, the system can recalculate those numbers for you based on any date range of sales that you want to consider. The other way of creating a replenishment order is filling in from sales. So fill in all the ammunition that I sold in the last 3 days, and it has the ability to do that. So now let's jump to point of sale. Point of sale opens up in another tab, which is a nice navigational tool so that, if you're in the store by yourself and there's no customers there, you can be working in the back office tab. As soon as a customer walks in, you click on the point of sale tab. And of course, it's going to open here in a second. Or maybe 3 seconds. All right, so this is the point of sale screen. And it's very customizable in that these column headings going across here, you can customize which ones you want to see on your POS. So if you don't sell any products like clothing that come in color and size, I'm sorry about that. Okay, sorry about that. So anyway, you can change the column headings here. There's like 40 some to choose from. You can change the order. You can actually change the field name. So if you don't want to call it product, you want to call it manufacturer number, you can do that. These buttons over here on the right-hand side, these navigation buttons, you also define which ones are going to appear here. Now, one that I'm missing because I wasn't quite prepared is the recall 4473, and that's what we're going to do when we talk about Gun StoreMaster. But there are other buttons available here like range management, transaction type. So some of these have a sub-menu to them. Like special orders, layaways. Maybe if you do a lot of special orders, you don't want to put it under a sub menu. Maybe you want to put that out here on the main menu. So you define which functions you're going to do. If you don't have a range, you would make that button go away. So I'm going to scan an item here. Give me 1 second. All right, so I scanned the UPC code of a firearm, and it is telling me asking me which serial number are you selling right now. So I'm going to sell the oldest one first. Click OK. And then the process here, Tom, can you explain what happens now with Gun StoreMaster as we go to sell this?
Yeah, so and we'll share my screen and kind of close it out after, and I'll explain some of the stuff. And Scott, thank you for jumping in on this because Chris couldn't get in here. So we're working with a non-connected database, but typically, as you mentioned, there's a recall 4473 selection in there, which is essentially a 4473 validation based on the background check status from Gun StoreMaster. Now, typically, it's going to be a proceed status that allows that, but it will also work off of the NRP status or the no response provided from the NICS Operations Center under the 3 days for the Brady Law. Or if you're residing in a state where you allow the transfer of firearm on a permit to carry or something along those lines, there's an exempt status if you're using box 29 on the 4473. Or on top of that, it's also for the exempt status for an NFA transfer. And are we on this screen? You guys see this screen here?
Yeah, we can.
Okay. So essentially, and again, we're not working on an integrated one because there was a last minute change with some technical issues. But what you see is we set up a 4473 ready to go. Now, I will preface it with I'm just making the assumption that the Gun StoreMaster users in attendance here today are familiar with Fast 4473. There is a very small percentage of users who are still doing all paper forms and not utilizing this portion of the program. So if you do fall amongst those percentage of users, feel free to contact me. And if you'd like to get started with picking up the Fast 4473 feature, we can schedule a training session and really show you how this works. But I'm going to make the assumption that you guys are familiar with this. So we've got Barney Rebel's session here. We had this set up with a proceed status. Now, after ringing out a firearm in the Cumulus or Stratus POS system, using that recall 4473 with a valid transfer status like proceed, once that sale takes place, Gun StoreMaster will get a signal back to Fast 4473 with a point of sale verification. Now, this will look very familiar to what you guys are used to seeing since we don't have the integration because of the technical issue that we ran into right before this started. You're used to selecting a transfer status between no sale and transfer. Now, when you're running in an integrated setup, that's no longer going to appear when the sale has taken place. You're going to see a green message here that says POS verified. So Fast 4473 will get a message back from the Celerant system saying this firearm has been rung out, so it automatically verifies and validates that sale. Of course, I can select transfer for that and finish filling out 34 through 36. And with the integration, the reason we had a form set up, because everything that you're currently doing in Fast 4473 up to those little differences is all going to be the same. You're going to get the same functionality essentially from start to finish from this side, so nothing should change there. So you get your final form there. And once you have a completed session, you're going to still dispose the firearm just like you would with any other 4473 transaction. You will notice some slight differences in the way that we show some of the data. If you look at the bound book search tool, anything that has been carried over from Celerant here is going to have the prepare for sale, but you're also going to have some POS pending disposition information available if it was run through the POS. As you can see here, there's additional statuses that are provided based off of the sale. So we're actually taking data from the Celerant POS system based off of what was rung out. And so now we're essentially waiting to dispose this. So once we have a pending POS disposition on a locked 4473, you can dispose it from this menu, and it'll take us directly to your form here. We'll actually go back to this one here, under Barney's here. So we have our linked message, and just like you do with a non-integrated system, you select the quick view eyeball, and you can dispose this item based off of the POS transaction. And so nothing is really different in that respect. On the front half, when firearms are coming in, especially if you're a current QuickBooks POS user, the process flow is kind of flipped on its head a little bit. When you're taking in firearms, they're actually added to your Cumulus or Stratus system into the inventory there. And then through a process that Celerant has called scheduled tasks, it will take any firearms that are set up for adding to their inventory at a regular timed interval. It will send those firearms and all of the pertinent bound book data to your Gun StoreMaster bound book to be auto-acquired into your Gun StoreMaster bound book. So you don't have to make that extra step of acquiring the firearms. And so essentially that in a nutshell is the Gun StoreMaster and Celerant integration, integrating the automatic acquisitions, the fast 4473 verification and validation, and then at the end the verified or the pending point of sale disposition details. So it's kind of talking back and forth between the two systems with those kind of extra checks based off of the status on your 4473s.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Scott, are you done with the product demo portion, or was there more you wanted to show on your side?
I could complete the sale and then just talk about fulfillment in e-commerce if there's an interest there. But we do have e-commerce.
Sure, we can do that.
Okay.
Yep, we can do that. Let me make you the presenter again. Also, just as a reminder for everyone, there is a question pane, and you can go ahead and feel free to ask any questions you may have on the right lower end of the GoToWebinar control panel. All right, Scott, you should be able to share your screen. So feel free to send any questions over.
It didn't ask me to take over. It didn't say yes.
Okay, let's try that one more time. How about now?
No, sorry.
Okay, try it again. You're in here twice, so I'm not sure.
Which one is me? No, it's not coming up.
Did it?
Well, let me just talk about it a little bit. As far as completing the sale, there's a lot of checks and balances on our point of sale that the 4473 must be completed. That number has to be inserted from recalling it from Gun StoreMaster. Make sure that you have a customer attached. It won't let you complete a sale unless you fill in everything you need to sell a firearm. The other thing I want to mention was about fulfillment. When you're in e-commerce sales, those sales, you get notified via email that a sale has been made. They get messaged to your Cumulus database, and then you can go and first print pick tickets. So pick tickets would be items that, it's basically the orders, but it's a form that someone can take out on the floor in the stockroom, pull the appropriate merchandise, bring it back to the shipping table. With shipping, there's a nice feature in there that it's called scan code verification. So if you're scanning a bunch of stuff and putting it into the box, if you scan the wrong item, if there's an item that's not on that order, it will let you know and say, nah, that was not picked properly. You have the wrong item, go back and pick the next one. And the final thing is reports. We really have a very flexible reporting system as far as, your sales end of day, register summary, employee sales, product sales, merchandise. There's a report writer that comes with the system, but that doesn't come with the system, it's extra, I'm sorry. But there are a lot of canned reports that are already built into the system. So you can really analyze and manage your inventory, manage your customers, manage your employees as a result. And that's all I got, Michelle. You're on mute.
Thank you, Scott. And as I mentioned earlier, we just wanted to show a little bit of the software. And of course, we can schedule a one-on-one product demo with you if you're interested in seeing more and asking more specific questions and seeing the full system. So a couple other things I want to just walk through before we flip to some Q&A. We have some questions coming in. So as a reminder, just ask any questions you have there over in the questions pane. We'll get to that in just a minute. But first, I want to just talk about the promotion that we have in place specifically for Gun StoreMaster dealers, and also specifically to help you transition from potentially your QuickBooks point of sale. So currently we're offering the first month free, and that is your first month for your entire package. So if you're going to have point of sale for your store, if you're going to have e-commerce, even if you're going to add on email marketing or SEO, whatever the package is that you purchase, you'll get that entire first month free. We also are offering unlimited distributor integrations for the entire time that you work with us, and that's at no charge. Tom, can you go on mute just one more time, because I'm hearing that feedback again. Sorry. All sorts of technical issues today with the GoToWebinar.
I have been on mute.
Oh, okay. So those distributor integrations that I was discussing earlier, the catalog import, the automated ordering, the online product feed, the drop ship, and the in-store kiosk. Again, of course, it depends on your distributor and depends on what all they can do. Some distributors don't drop ship, but depending on what we're able to do with your distributors, all of those integrations will be free for the entire time that you're working with us at Celerant. So that's a huge promotion. Also, depending on which payment processor you choose, we can also offer free payment devices as well. And those EMV devices can get pretty expensive. So that's also available at no charge. Now, for QuickBooks point of sale users specifically, a couple things to mention. Of course, we already mentioned we are developed for Firearm. So there's a lot of functionality that is specific to gun shops that you'll get just using our software. And in addition, we have an integration that will connect to QuickBooks for accounting. So QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks Desktop, we integrate. So you can still continue to use QuickBooks for your accounting and have a nice integration there to our point of sale software. And lastly, we are helping with data conversion. So we will help you, and we can offer a discount on converting your data from QuickBooks and pulling it right into either our Cumulus or our Stratus Enterprise software. We can pull your customer data and your product data and help you get that into your Celerant software so you can really hit the ground running and have all of your data there. Now, the other important thing, as you probably all know at this point, QuickBooks, you can continue using it. I mean, frankly, you can continue using it if you want it, even after October, but not most gun shops won't be doing that. October, though, is the date. So there is still more than 6 months before this has to happen, but it's a great time now to prepare, really plan, and make these changes now so that by the time long before this happens, you can be already using a new system and successfully running your business, and with someone like us with e-commerce and some of these other things we talked about that maybe you don't have today. And that brings us to the end, right at 46 minutes, which is perfect timing. So I do see some questions coming through. Again, if you wanted to go ahead and put any questions in that question pane, we can answer those now. Also, I want to point you to 2 pages. You see the web pages here, celerant.com/GSM-promo. And then there's another page, celerant.com/Gun StoreMaster. Those are 2 pages on our Celerant website that talk all about us, talk all about Gun StoreMaster. We even have an awesome video with Stephen Harris, who probably you all know, that we did at the SHOT Show this past show. And so you can learn a lot more about us and our partnership on these 2 web pages. But let's flip it over to a couple of questions. We have one here from Chris. Will the software be able to integrate with BigCommerce and ShipStation? So I can take that. ShipStation, we have an integration to ShipEngine, and that's available currently. ShipEngine is really the same as ShipStation. It's the same company. It's just that ShipEngine is developed within our own Celerant user interface. So instead of having to jump out of our software and into ShipStation, you can do all of that same functionality and all of the same carriers that you do with ShipStation, but ShipEngine is developed within our Celerant user interface. So it's just less hopping in and out, but ultimately it's the same as ShipStation. As far as BigCommerce, that is an e-commerce provider, for those of you who don't know. And so, of course, our preference at Celerant is to have you replace your existing site with our e-commerce. But that said, we understand that some dealers already have e-commerce sites and just don't want to replace them. So we do offer integrations. We have integration to WooCommerce. I think BigCommerce is also one of them that we already have, or if we don't have it, we could, of course, develop it as well. So that is an option, and we can talk more specifically with that with your sales rep. All right, another question here from Arthur. How does FAST 4473 work with PA Epics? So Tom, I'm gonna let you answer that one. I think that's more specific to you. Tom, you must still be on mute. We don't hear you.
Yeah, could you repeat that question? I didn't hear the end of it.
Sure. It was from Arthur, and he said, how does FAST 4473 work with PA Epics?
I wonder, Arthur, are you speaking about the Pennsylvania state background check system?
Yeah. Yes. He said yes.
Okay, we don't currently have the integration with the PA system. We are looking at expanding to other point of contact state systems. Currently, we only have the GSM Web Assist integration with the FBI NICS portal and Colorado CBI. So unfortunately, if you are in a different point of contact states for your background checks, you do have to still submit the data to your state agency and then fill in the information once you get the kickback from them.
Okay. And then Sam has a question here. Hello, all of the guns I currently have are in my A&D book. What is the best way to get them into my system for Gun StoreMaster?
Okay, so you're looking to import firearms into Gun StoreMaster from another A&D system? Is that what it sounds like you're saying?
Yeah, Sam, if you could just put in, yes, he said yes.
Okay, so Gun StoreMaster offers to all of the pro customers a migration assistance service at no additional charge, and we would work with you directly. If I can get your contact info, I can send you our import files. So we've got a specially formatted Excel file that is matched up to our data fields. And then I provide you with a PDF guide that explains which data goes into which column. And you essentially copy and paste your existing file into our import file. And we'll run that through a data analyzer to make sure it's formatted correctly. And if everything looks good, we can schedule an import to upload everything to your Gun StoreMaster bound book.
Okay, thank you. And Sam said he has an A&D book only. So if you're interested in converting that to Gun StoreMaster and also working with us at Celerant for an integrated point of sale, we can absolutely offer that for you. And Sam said, okay, that's great. Good, Sam.
That brings up another good point, Michelle. For anyone who is currently using their bound book with Gun StoreMaster, and you are looking to move into Cumulus or Stratus, I work with one of our developers as well as the Celerant implementation manager team to help carry over that data from your bound book into the Celerant side. So when you get set up and running with Celerant, your open bound book inventory will match your Celerant inventory right from the get-go, so you don't have to go through and make sure everything matches. I work with their team to make sure that everything's imported and it's essentially duplicated between both systems.
Got it. Good. And another question, is there a charge on the Celerant side to integrate with Gun StoreMaster? So no, I can answer that. There's no charge. We offer the integration as a value add, and so there's no fee on our end for that. Tom, on your side, is there I think there's a small something, right, to use the Celerant integration?
Yes, currently it is $24.99 a month. The first 30 days of the integration is free, but there are some internal discussions about whether or not that $24.99 a month will stick around or not. But currently we do charge for it. Okay.
Good to know. And then Sam said, that's great. I'm currently getting things set up with Celerant and Gun StoreMaster. I bought both programs recently at the end of February. So that's great, Sam. So we'll talk more about that and get you going soon. All right. So that actually is all the questions. I'm thinking that you're welcome, Sam. I'm thinking that I hit all the questions here. If there's any other questions, please send them through now. We just have a few more minutes. And if there's nothing else comes through, then I encourage everyone to visit those pages, celerant.com/GSM-promo. There's a 10-minute demo on that page as well that you can watch, and you can learn more about our system. And we're eager to just, talk and answer any questions you have, schedule a one-on-one, more personal demo, and really help you prepare for this big transition if you are using QuickBooks that is happening in October. And no other questions came through. So I thank everybody for joining us. Tom, Scott, thank you both.
Thanks, guys.
And
and if anybody
Thank you,
wants to reach out to me directly with questions, I'm happy to help with any transition stuff. If you're moving into Celerant, you can email me at tom@threecirclesoft.com. Open up a support ticket, or if you call our main hotline, my extension is 710.
And if anyone has any questions on the Celerant side, you can always reach out to me as well. It's M. Salerno. My name is up on the screen there, but it's M as in Michelle, Salerno, SALERNO @Celerant.com, and I can answer any questions you would have too. This session was recorded, so we'll be sending around the recorded link this afternoon. And thanks again, and we hope to talk to you each soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.